Right now at 10, new sign. A group in Sarcoxy wants to update a sign welcoming you to the city. Plus, special performance. A youth choir from Illinois makes a stop at a church in Joplin. Also, on a roll, how a Joplin group is working to create a community for skaters. And spreading quickly, a warning from health officials as the Delta variant continues to spread across the U.S.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The people of Sarcoxy came together to recognize their high school archery team's achievements. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky joins us live in the studio now with more.
When you enter the town of Sarcoxy, you may notice a sign on the way in celebrating their state archery championship wins. But the problem is it doesn't accurately portray the team's achievements and only shows their wins up to 2015.
The Lions Club actually got it for us, had something to do with it in 2017, I believe. And we haven't had it updated since then, and our greatest accomplishments are not even on there, so it greatly needs to be updated.
In order to update it, not only did they need a lot of money, but they didn't have much time.
Yes, we recently found out that everything needed to be completed by July 31st.
That gave the team a week and a half to get all necessary paperwork in and to raise over $3,000. Now, with the help of some generous donors, these archers' hard work will be recognized, like Allie Nordell's 2018 National Bullseye Championship.
It feels really nice to be recognized by the whole town, because we've been working for this for years, and we're getting a lot of recognition for it, and it feels so good for all the hard work to pay off.
Or Alyssa Willis's World Championship achievement for hitting 3D animals.
I got lucky. I have a great team. It feels pretty great. Knowing that the community supports us so much that they would be willing to donate for our cause is just amazing. We wouldn't be able to do half the things we do without the support from the community.
Other team members share the same appreciation for the community's overwhelming support. It's what gives Allison Darrow, an incoming sophomore, faith that she can count on the people in her town.
It's good to have support from so many people from all around the community and to know that they support our cause and that they're there for us.
And with the archery team's 9-year winning streak, the town has much to be proud of. In Sarcoxy, Bronte Sorotsky, KUAM News. And their new plaque should be up in a few months, and those will be in place for the next 10 years.
It's still pretty amazing that the entire community was able to come together and raise money for those. I don't think people realize how much those little highway signs can cost.
No, they cost a lot, and they have to get multiple of them, which is why it was so expensive. So it's really awesome that their community chipped in like that.
Absolutely. Bronte, thank you so much. The Mattoon Youth Choir made a stop in Joplin this morning at the Life Point Pentecostal Church. The choir group is a group of young people, of 70 of them, that for more than 30 years have spent part of their summer touring the country and even Europe. Today, they joined the congregation at Life Point Pentecostal and praised the Lord with their songs. Choir director Nixon Doty says it goes beyond just coming together and singing.
Something that we've really strived to do is to connect with churches and minister together, not just come in, be a concert, pick up, come in, sing, leave, but to come and connect with churches and be in one mind and one accord with a true spirit of unity with each and every church.
The choir is based at the Apostolic Center in Mattoon, Illinois, a community of around 18,000. A Joplin group is creating a community for skaters and anyone who wants to learn how to skate. Jomo Skates was created for anyone on wheels, whether they're on roller skates or skateboards. They aim to create a community of skaters within the Joplin and the surrounding area. The group hosts meetups, and anyone is welcome to join regardless of skill level.
We just wanted to create a community of skaters, and also for any people who are new to it. Just because this pandemic, a lot of people were trying to find hobbies to do, and roller skating was a big one. And so we wanted to kind of get together in a safe way.
The group's meetups happen on a monthly basis. If anyone is interested in joining them, you can find them on Instagram at Jomo Skates, which is where they will post about future events. Not nearly as busy a day as yesterday. Nick Kelly joining us.
Yes, thankfully a lot drier compared to the past few days, Chris, and that certainly It's a nice, rewarding way to wrap up this weekend. A low of 69 this morning at Joplin Regional. Most of us dropped back into the upper 60s this morning before we topped out around 87 in Joplin, and everyone else mainly middle to upper 80s for today. But this is the sight we've been longing to see. These are all returns of ground clutter. This is not rain. We haven't had to deal with much in the way of rainfall today, except for maybe a few showers around the western parts of Table Rock Lake. But we are still warm and kind of muggy outside. We're in the mid to upper 70s now. Still feels like we're near 80 in some spots. But thankfully, we are dry going into the overnight and to get your Monday morning started. So overnight lows drop back near 66. So even though that frontal boundary that helped to provide the rain chances over the past few days, Chris, is off to the south, there's still one key player that could bring in some isolated storms tomorrow, but still warm with highs near 85. We'll break down the rest of the week here in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. The city of Neosho announced today that there will be 2 road closures in town starting tomorrow. Hill Street will be closed to all traffic from Neosho Boulevard to Oak Ridge Drive. This is to allow work to be done to realign the street for the new construction of the Neosho School District's Performing Arts Center. Sherman Street will also be closed from Oak Ridge Drive to Highland Place and will be open only to the local residents. These streets will both be closed until further notice. A new report from the Natural Resources Defense Council says there are as many as 12 million Americans receiving drinking water through lead pipes without realizing their water is contaminated. Of the top 10 states with the highest number of lead pipes, Missouri ranked 6th. The top 5 were Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, New York, and New Jersey. According to the NRDC report, some states, including Missouri, reported that they're working on surveying their lead pipes. The report estimates that Missouri has 5,462 lead pipes per 100,000 residents. However, a number of states, including Kansas and Arkansas, failed to respond to the survey. The coronavirus isn't making a comeback in the U.S. It never left. That's the message from health officials who say the Delta variant and a lack of vaccinations are allowing the potentially deadly disease to keep spreading in parts of the nation. John Loring reports.
You choose either to be vaccinated or to accept a higher rate of unnecessary death.
COVID-19 cases rose in 48 states over the past week, with 30 of those states reporting more than a 50% hike, according to Johns Hopkins University.
I am worried about what is to come because we are seeing increasing cases among the unvaccinated in particular.
U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy says nearly 100% of recent COVID-19 related deaths are among those who haven't had a shot.
It is our fastest, most effective way out of this pandemic.
Health officials say the highly transmissible Delta variant has changed the face of the pandemic.
Last year, if you were infected with the virus, you had protection that lasted quite some time. That is no longer the case, and if you've been previously infected, you are not protected against Delta variant.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the vaccination rate in the U.S. is slowing, with just under 49% of the population fully vaccinated.
I do encourage people to get vaccinated. I don't think it ought to be something where we're going door to door and mandating it on people. I think what we should be doing is a much more effective and massive public media campaign.
Ready? Mm-hmm.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now, on Friday, President Biden said social media platforms, including Facebook, are, quote, killing people with false information about COVID-19. An official with Facebook refuted that claim, saying the White House is looking for, quote, scapegoats because the U.S. didn't reach the administration's vaccination goal. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Sergeant Donald Moffett served in the Army during Vietnam, where he received the Medal of Valor, among many other awards. His hometown, Granby. And we're proud to recognize Sergeant Donald Moffett, tonight's four-state hero. And of course, remember to learn more about other heroes or to nominate one of your own. Just head over to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Europe floods. Coming up on the KOAM News at 10, the latest on the devastating flooding sweeping across Europe.
Go Rewards prizes.
Floods in Europe have left dozens dead and hundreds missing so far. Large-scale rescue efforts are continuing amid rising water, landslides, and power outages. And shocking images of the devastation show entire villages underwater with cars wedged in between collapsed buildings and debris. Melissa Bell reports from Belgium.
The floodwaters were moving northwards by Friday, leaving behind a trail of devastation. Vast swathes of Germany, Belgium and the Netherlands only now beginning to realize the cost of historic storms.
The question is whether any of this should really have come as a surprise. Not only had the heavy rains of this week been forecast, but more than that. For years, experts have been warning that in this part of the world, one of the effects of climate change was always going to be heavy rain and flash flooding in the summer months.
And yet, by the time the waters came, no one was prepared. From Germany to Belgium, the pictures caught by terrified locals give a sense of how fast and furiously the waters rose on Thursday, sweeping away everything in their path. By Friday morning, the scale of the devastation was becoming clear. In the Belgian village of Pepinster, people returning to what was left of their homes and their livelihoods. This family's wine shop engulfed in a thick layer of mud. Its owner says that in 70 years her father has never seen anything like it.
72 ans d'effort.
72 ans d'effort, mon papa, 72 ans. In the nearby town of Liège, French military personnel and equipment have been brought in as part of what is now an international rescue effort. As you can see, the water here really rose quite high. What the locals that we've been speaking to have told us, many of them still trapped in their homes but now running out of food and water, is that when the flash flood came, it was a mighty torrent that came down these streets. There was nothing gradual about it. And it happened, the streets filled up with water within a couple of hours. The rescuers going house to house. In Germany, the scenes are heartbreakingly similar. In one town, the residents of a disabled care home were trapped. They'd been asleep and attempts to get them out failed. Across the country, at least 105 people have been killed, with many hundreds more missing. But even as Europe begins to count the cost of the worst floods in more than a century, its politicians are looking to their lessons for the future.
It is the intensity and the length of these events where science tells us this is a clear indication of climate change and that this is something where we really, it shows the urgency to act.
An urgency all the clearer from above a part of the world not used to the kind of humanitarian crisis it now faces.
Later in sports, the Webb City 10U softball team is competing for the Missouri State Championship today. Danny Terzer has that and more in the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed.
But first, our forecast this week has much deserved dry time and eventual return of summer heat. We'll break it down next.
Experience for yourself why Indigo.com.
After so much rain Thursday, Friday, and yesterday, it was well-deserved, the dry day that we had to wrap up this weekend. Even though the clouds might have looked maybe a little ominous at times, the time-lapse from Indigo Sky Casino and Resort outside of Seneca, Missouri just showed cloud cover passing through. Not a drop of rain to be had around the casino grounds and across much of the region. But late this afternoon, early this evening, there were a few showers coming out of Table Rock Lake and trying to work west and southwest. So maybe our far southeastern counties on the Missouri side trying to see just a few showers. Pale in the bucket compared to what we had to deal with the past couple of days. From Thursday through today, 3 inches of rain, just over that on the average, but needless to say, some of you saw at least that and as much as 10 inches, certainly where the colors really pop, which is why, again, we were all the more thankful that we kept this view pretty quiet, not just through this morning, but through the entire day, and we are still nice and dry on the radar network at 10:18 on this Sunday night. That being said, some of the area rivers, like the Verdigris, the Neosho, the Marmaton, Osage, Little Osage, they're still running high, and the latest these river flood warnings will be Friday, so keep that in mind as we continue throughout the week. But it is, again, nice to see quiet skies from 7th and Rangeline. 76 in Joplin with a dew point still muggy in the upper 60s. So in general, most of us are in the mid to upper 70s now. Still feels like near 80 with the dew point still that kind of high, but we are going to keep quiet as we go through the course of the night. But throughout the day, a good band of thunderstorms rolled across western Kansas, and this still trying to make a run toward Wichita Falls and Quanah in northwestern parts of Texas. Those are going to stay along the stationary front, which is finally far enough to the south. So this should not play a role in our forecast for tomorrow. But this upper low near St. Louis, I think that will try to play a role in the forecast as we go into tomorrow afternoon. Let's get down with the future track forecast. Again, just passing cloud cover throughout the night, and some of you may be seeing mostly sunny skies to start the day out as we drop back into the mid 60s, near 80 by the time the afternoon gets going. But then that upper low, as it starts to work through southern Missouri, some energy from that could try to bring some widely scattered storms, mainly on the Missouri side for the afternoon, but they should not be strong and they should not pack much of a punch in terms of rainfall. 66 in the morning, 80 by noon, still warm though. We'll see afternoon highs around 85. If we had any rain chances to start tomorrow evening out, they'll fade away after sunset. We're looking quiet for Tuesday morning, back into the mid 60s and back into the mid, if not upper 80s for a quiet Tuesday. Quiet because that upper low takes a sharp dive toward the south as we go into the middle of next week. This could try to, however, bring a random storm or two on Thursday, but the big story by the end of the week, look at that upper ridge build back in as we head toward next weekend. While that keeps us dry for sure, that will send lower 90s back our way. Friday and Saturday, maybe 93 on Sunday. But before we see the summer heat return, Chris, temperatures for the next few days look okay. 85 tomorrow and Tuesday and upper 80s through the midweek.
Not a bad forecast overall. Looks like summer again.
Yeah, but more importantly, a good chance to dry out.
Yes, absolutely. Nick, thank you so much. Danny Terzer joining us now with sports, and a Missouri Southern pitcher heading to the next level.
We'll have details on Zach Parrish's journey coming up. Plus, the Webb City 10U softball team plays for the state championship. Those highlights and much more next.
Nick Kelly is
today.
This is the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. Exciting news from Missouri Southern pitcher Zach Parrish. He is taking his talents to the next level. Parrish is signing an undrafted free agent deal with the Texas Rangers. Parrish excelled during his time as a Lion, winning multiple awards, including being named the Division II National Pitcher of the Year. He finished his collegiate career with 488 strikeouts and became the NCAA Division II all-time strikeout leader. Parrish flies to Texas on Tuesday to make it official. The Webb City 10U softball team is competing for the Missouri State Championship today. Webb City faces Lacombe East today with the title on the line. An action-packed third inning, Webb City already with a big lead. Tammy Rabel gets a hit. Eva Hines and Marley Jacks score to make it 8-1. Then Hines gets a huge hit into the grass, and coach is waving everybody home. 3-run double. Still the same inning, RBI single brings Hines home from second. And then Emily House with a hit out to right. Two more come across, 21-1. I think we know how this one ends. Webb City is the 10U state champions, beating Lacombe 23-2. The Webb City 16U girls are also state champions. They battled for the title in a best-of-3 series against DeSoto. Webb City won the first game 20-2 and the second on Saturday 22-4. Here's manager Chandler Queen on her team's achievement.
The talent is just something fierce. Girls are coming out and they want to play, and their passion and their drive is just amazing to see. They wanted to come out and they wanted to win, and they wanted that, especially our girls who are aging out. It's just a huge accomplishment for them, and that's how they end their season. And it's just one of those things, as a coach and a manager, you just smile and you're like, you know, those are our girls, and we're super proud of how they represented Webb City.
It's a big day for the Outlaws. It's their final home game of the season. Plus, Joplin is hosting Sedalia tonight, and the Bombers are in first place in the South. It's crunch time now as the postseason looms, and wins are that much more important. Tonight, the Outlaws nearly pull off a comeback but fall one run short. The Bombers win 7-6. Logan Klein gets a 3-run double, and Jared Toller gets a 2-run double. That brings us to our one and only break in the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. Still ahead, the Cardinals look to take the series from the league-leading Giants. Those highlights next.
She's the essence you deserve.
Welcome back to the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. The St. Louis Cardinals are 9 games back in the National League Central. Today they host the Giants for the final game of the series. The series is currently split. Cards strike first in the third. Paul DeJong hits a solo shot to left, home run number 13 for him. The next inning, Darren Ruff has an answer. He sends it into the upper deck to tie it up. And then, late in the game, Harrison Bader reaches on an infield single. Jose Rondon scores the winning run. The Cardinals win 2-1, taking 2 out of 3 games from the league-leading Giants. The Royals wrap up a series with the Orioles today. Ramon Urias gets a bases-loaded hit down the line and 2 score. Then look out for the KC defense. Andrew Benintendi makes the diving grab. Michael Taylor follows suit, laying out for the catch. Then in the 6th, Austin Wynns stuffs it in the corner. RBI double. Ryan McKenna racing home, just barely makes it in time. Royals no offense to be found. They fall 5-0. Colin Morikawa wins the Open today, shooting his best round on Sunday, 4 under par for a 66, 15 under for the tournament. It's his second major victory, his first just 11 months ago at the 2020 PGA Championship. Morikawa makes history as the first player to win 2 different majors in his first attempt, and he's just 24 years old. We'll be right back.
Casino and Resort is just better.
Nick Kelly, final check of that forecast.
Only rain chances I see are a few afternoon storms tomorrow on the Missouri side and maybe a stray storm Thursday. But as far as temperatures go, mid-80s for the next few days and then back in the 90s for the weekend ahead.
Nick, thank you. Danny, final check in sports.
Webb City just churning out the state championships this weekend.
Danny, Nick, thank you so much. That's our time for now. Remember, we're always on at KOAMNewsNow.com and with that KOAM News Now app. Thanks for making us part of your night.